Here we go. Whole month?
Yeah, it's the first week of September.
Something like that.
I know, I remembered. Is that why you're staring at me?
What?
Yeah, he's waiting to see if I'll do the intro. I'll do it. What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode or show of the What the Fanboy podcast. I'm going to go left here. I'm Tyler. To my left, the lovely Luke Zilke.
I haven't signed off on that yet.
You are now. You don't have a choice.
It's too late. We've decided it for you.
I've not been given a dotted line to sign. Or
We don't sign contracts on this show.
Oh my gosh. I got
Haven't you
wrangled
figured that
into this
out?
thing. No, I don't know what we're doing. Every week is just a big old question mark.
It's like Monday at 7:55. Like, hey, what's our episode about?
Anywho, yes, I'm Luke, and way over there on the other side of the table, it's the beautiful Brett Eidson.
Drinking coffee at 8 p.m.
What's up, guys?
What a nut.
Stephanie
what a
got
bean.
me some cinnamon toast crunch creamer. So every cup of coffee tastes kind of like Christmas now. It's different. I like
Cinnamon
it.
Toast
Cinnamon
Crunch
Toast.
is Christmas.
Now I
to you?
just want some cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
That's fair. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a good time. And the podcast. Oh, this early in the episode, the podcast's coming out.
Way early.
All right. Yeah. It's good
my
to be
nose
back.
hanging
We
sneezing.
we made it another week, so
We did. Another week down.
I think we did a few things this week. I didn't do much, so I'll go for it first.
Okay.
Stephanie and I are rewatching all of the Batman movies. Because why not?
Did you watch the Adam West Batman movie?
Yeah. Did you watch all of them?
No. You mean the show?
You didn't? The shark repeller?
No, there's
There's a
Batman,
movie, too.
the movie.
I'm not actually sure I've ever seen that one.
It is.
I think I just associate Adam West with the show.
It is so fantastic.
All right, I'll
In
check
all
it
of
out.
its 60s glory.
It's on my list.
In all of the glory.
But yeah, so last night we watched the 1989 Batman with our good friend Birdman. Oh my gosh,
The Vulture.
Michael Keaton,
You
and
mean Flashpoint Batman?
yeah, with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and yeah, it's good.
What do they bring Jack Nicholson back?
We were talking a little bit before.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
No.
A lot of those pre
That's what I just wanted to
2010 superhero movies haven't aged real well.
What about Iron Man?
Well, I'm gonna wrap him in. I'm
But it was 2
rounding
years.
him up to 2010.
Almost
What about the
over
Dark Knight?
700 days prior to 2010.
my
Dark Knight came out in
Yeah, what about
2008.
the Dark Knight? Batman Begins.
I also finished Space Force.
He's not putting up with our crap
He
this
is
week.
not.
Finally, and I liked that a lot more than Luke did. The jokes worked for me. I don't know what I'd rate it though. I don't know if I'd give. Did you rate it a Matthew McConaughey?
I don't remember. I'll look it up.
Because I feel like I would probably give it a high Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if it's really fanboy worthy. It's a little busy. It tries to do a lot in its first season that I feel like most shows these days would try and
That's a season 2 thing.
push some of those storylines into a season 2. But that's kind of the point. I think it's meant to feel a little chaotic, a little off the cuff. Like we don't know what's going on.
I gave it a straight to streaming.
Okay, I would give it a high fanboy or a high Matthew McConaughey.
There you go.
Not quite to that fanboy worthy, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Nice.
And then this week wrapped up the series finale of I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which is the documentary about the book about hunting the Golden State Killer,
Oh.
which was just in the news last month
While I was in California.
while you were in California.
Are you the Golden State Killer?
No. So, weird story
Not
about
physically
that.
possible, actually.
Weird story about that.
Oh, yes.
We
go
were
for it.
driving back from Morro Bay to Bakersfield.
Love
and
Morro Bay.
I was listening to Do Go On, and I was like, man, I want to listen to one of their serial killer episodes while we're driving back. So I clicked the Golden State Killer, and then, like, the next day he was sentenced.
Yeah.
And that book came out, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't real.
That is a really good true crime show. I've talked about it a little bit in episodes past, but just how it kind of.
What was it on?
It's less about the.
HBO?
It's on HBO.
Okay.
HBO Max or HBO/HBO Max, and it's less about the killer himself, and more about Michelle McNamara and her kind of obsessive dive into hunting him. 40 years after the incidents and looking through old evidence and kind of helping revitalize that search and getting it to a point where they actually caught him. So really cool.
How many episodes?
6 or 7,
Okay, cool.
and they're each an
I'll watch
hour
it this
long.
week.
So.
I'll watch it tonight. Nah, not before I go to bed.
But yeah, that's a solid fanboy worthy for me. Obviously, if it's highly sensitive material, if you don't handle that stuff, don't watch it. But if you're,
It's pretty messed up.
yeah, and it's all. I think it's pretty tasteful in terms of like they're not showing you photographs of things, but
Is it like a dramatic retelling, or is it like an actual doc?
it's more of an actual doc.
Okay.
Yeah, they do some
Some of the little scenes?
recreating
Yeah.
the scene type of thing to kind of amp up. Oh, there's one like the intro to episode 3 is an actual recording of him calling someone, and it's just like, I'm gonna kill you. And it's so freaky. Oh. But yeah, overall, really good. I like it. Fanboy worthy. So,
Nice.
what'd you guys do?
So first off, first thing I did, or want to talk about, what am I doing? Am I
I
drunk?
don't know. Do you want me to go?
No, I'll go. The NBA is back. The NBA came back
that's
with its
right.
restart this weekend. So Saturday was basketball day. It was fantastic.
It's quadruple header.
I gotta watch my OKC Thunder win. They lost today though in overtime, which is kind of a bummer. But it's great to have sports back.
Kind of makes
Those have been missed.
makes life feel a little bit normal again.
Yeah. But that was a lot of fun. The other thing I did, besides the major thing I did, was I watched, long title, Transformers: War for Cybertron Trilogy Chapter 1.
That is a long title.
It's a 6-episode kid show of Transformers, but it's a prequel before all the Transformers on Earth. Kind of a movie, honestly, that everybody's been asking for, but they've never done. They're finally doing it as a kid show. I thought it was pretty good. I think the animation isn't great, or maybe I never really got used to it. I really like all the designs of the Autobots and Decepticons, but the art style that they go with, I feel like, isn't totally fleshed out. Like, I feel like there's stuff missing. Like, the robots look good, but then, like, in their environment, I don't know, like, things don't really seem to match. I don't know, it's weird. I kept being bothered by that.
Yeah.
So hot and bothered.
Huh.
But it's really nice because this is a Transformers story that people have been asking for, that we're finally getting. And it's nice to see this part of the Transformers lore.
Yeah.
Oh, get super into it. It was also weird not having the normal voice of Optimus be there. It's a different guy. He's good, but I wasn't expecting that because it's always been.
They should totally just flip it
That
on its head and
Optimus.
make it a high pitched voice.
My name's Optimus Prime. I'm Bumblebee. Plus, you get to see a lot of Transformers that you never see in the movie. But it's really cool. And plus, you're going in all this like Alpha Trion stuff, which is awesome.
Where did you watch this at?
It's a Netflix original.
Oh, cool.
I would give it a fanboy worthy. I think Transformers fans have already watched it. But it's a lot of fun. It is a kids show, I will say, more so than your normal. Just like it's an animated show. Like it's a kids show, but it's still a lot of fun. If you have been wanting more Transformers stuff, I'd say check it out. Netflix, 6 episodes, takes 3 hours to watch. And there's 2 more seasons coming out, or chapters is what they're calling them. Yeah, it's a trilogy. So I'll check that out. I'm
Who's
interested.
your favorite Transformer in that?
A big fan of Jetfire. I don't know.
We'll let you circle back.
I'm having trouble just honestly remembering a lot of their names because there's a lot more robots in this one than the movies. What?
He's chatting it up.
Okay, but yeah, check that out if you have a Transformers fix. And then the other thing I did, should I talk about this now, is the Umbrella Academy season 2.
Yeah.
I'm the
Go ahead and talk about it.
I'm the only person
We're not
who
going to
has
have
watched
anything
it.
to contribute.
We got
so
some news stories.
we got some big
dive
news
into.
stories to dive in. Yep, agreed.
So season 1, I thought was great. I thought it was a lot of fun. Was super excited for season 2, and I originally gave season 1 a fanboy worthy, mainly because the show's weird. However, I gotta upgrade the show to a booyah. I think.
Ooh.
I think people have hit their part of weird is okay now.
Yeah.
Like Stranger Things. Everybody watches Stranger Things. It's weird. It's got lots of, like, I don't know, aliens and demon monsters and all this stuff. And
We've figured out the
different dimensions.
The
It's such a
entertainment
fever dream show.
The entertainment industry has figured out how to make weird palpable for the general audience.
And I feel like this show nails that.
yeah.
This show to me is the Stranger Things when Stranger Things doesn't have a new season. This is something to really fill that gap that Stranger Things is not going to give you for probably 6 months to another year at least. This show is fantastic. Season 1 was great. I think season 2 is improved in every way. Go through my notes real quick. One con. The only con. I wish they would set up some rules for the time travel stuff. There's characters doing different things. Like, one character is specifically trying to prevent a major event in history from happening. And I'm like, does he know, like, will that have ramifications or not? Because it kind of feels like people just time travel and do stuff. And I feel like they haven't set up if changing something really can affect something or not. It's just a matter of, we need to stop the apocalypse. Oh, we're doing this thing. Things are a little different now. Oh, we need to stop the apocalypse. Oh, things are a little different now. But no, a character's trying to stop an assassination of JFK. It's like, that might be bad. Like, I just need some rule clarification on that. Other than that, everything about the show is phenomenal.
I think that's the hard part of doing time travel now is, like, so many people have done it and there's so many rules now that if you don't set up your own early, and people have a hard time with it, which obviously you kind of are.
Yeah, and honestly, they might have set it up. I just honestly didn't notice or forgot about it. So that might just be my bad.
Good job.
But I'll go into my pros. The first one being the setting. Season 2 takes place in the 60s, and a lot of things were happening in the 60s.
Yes.
And these lead to a lot of really interesting and impactful avenues for storytelling. You have the civil rights movement really starting to kick off. And one of the characters is heavily involved in that. And to see what the characters involved with that, I don't want to ruin too much.
No,
but the characters that are involved in that plot line, it's really hard to watch, especially with, everything that's going on today. And you can just see, like, wow, not that much seems to have really changed. And then you have characters in the show that are homosexual, viewed way differently in the 60s.
Right.
And And there's kind of multiple stories with that. And there's just... It was really cool to see these characters from like 2019 interact in a different time with those things happening to them.
Yeah.
Another great thing that I really liked was that the characters aren't just retreads, really, of what they go through in season 1. They've learned. They've evolved. In the finale of season 1, they've all realized their mistakes, and they're trying not to just do the same thing in that. Looking at you, every CW show ever. Like, I could talk about Arrow every season. I'm going to do this on my own. I can't have any help. That's my brood voice. Is it good?
It's all right. You could use some work. I think the light's a little...
You failed this city!
There's too much light in the room to brood right now.
We can make it darker.
It needs to be a little bit darker if you want to...
Don't want to ruin the ambiance. But no, these characters, they've actually learned from the mistakes and the things they've done right in season 1, and they use them. And I really appreciated that. The other thing was, I think season 1 was funny. This season improved the humor. I know a lot of people don't like, say, just quips or one-liners because they become the way Marvel and Disney do things. But there's some great ones.
Nice.
In this season. Also, they really, I think, stepped up the action. Not just like, oh, here's some cool kung fu, but getting creative with it is something that I think Umbrella Academy does really well. One specific fight scene where somebody gets kicked in the nuts really hard, and it's just him in agony, and the fight scene is going on around him, and it's like really coolly choreographed around him. But you're enjoying this fight scene, but you're laughing because he's just like, oh.
Is it Klaus that gets kicked in the nuts?
No.
Let's say it seems like a Klaus thing to do. Get kicked in the nuts.
Actually, he might get kicked in the nuts. I think every male character, gets kicked in the nuts.
Seems like too much.
I'm always okay with a good
too much
nut
of that
kicking in a form of media. It never gets old. It's always funny. The last thing I'd say is also another fantastic soundtrack.
They're competing with Guardians in the music use, huh?
Sure, yeah, go for it. Make it a good competition too. I think they could do that well. There's a great integration of the Backstreet Boys, and it's nice because it's not just here's a song over a fight scene. They take something kind of from the show and they're like, oh, there's this, and then the song that they're playing over the scene works with what is going on. Yeah. All that being said, the show is really, really good. I'd say check it out. I personally think it's one of the best shows on Netflix now, especially with the second season.
Nice.
Hands down in my top 10, maybe in my top 5. I'd have to think about that a little harder though. Of Netflix shows, yeah.
I was gonna say, man, that vaulted real high.
Yeah.
All your shows.
Hey, I mean, nothing's gonna ever beat Voltron though. So go watch Voltron. It's been a while since we brought up Voltron.
Ooh, here, Luke.
I'm pretty sure you brought that up last week.
I don't think so.
Maybe not on the podcast.
Oh, that was before.
Yeah.
I asked the chat if Transformers or Power Rangers was better, but I completely forgot Voltron.
Voltron is better than both. Voltron!
Okay, but if you had to choose between Transformers or Power Rangers,
I would choose Transformers.
Okay.
I don't like Power Rangers.
You had to choose between a grilled cheese and a taco in a street fight.
In a street fight?
Yeah.
I'd just quote Hot Rod, but to eat, I'd choose grilled cheese.
I was hoping you'd quote Hot Rod.
I couldn't really remember the quote word for word, so I didn't want to botch it.
If it's prison rules, the taco.
Taco.
Yeah.
Correct. Also extremely racist. What a fantastic movie. But yeah, Umbrella Academy. So good. Favorite characters are still Klaus and Five. Freaking Aidan Gallagher playing an old man in a 13-year-old body is just...
He's pretty good at it.
He's so good. And, like, he's, a 16-year-old kid acting? Good job, dude. Like, props to you.
He cracks me up. Is he still carrying around the mannequin?
I don't want to ruin season 1.
Okay. Well, that'll kick off my notes then. Mm-hmm. I'm watching season 1 of Umbrella Academy right now. I'm about halfway through.
It's really good. I think everybody should at least give it a chance.
I'm at the point now where it's like, I'll give every show 5 episodes, but I need that 5th episode to really kick it off for me to get like. It's kind of like when I read a book. Like I'll always get to a point where I just can't stop. Like I have to finish it, and I'm not quite there yet with Umbrella Academy, but everything I've heard is episode 5 is where that really happens. So I'm looking forward to it. But I did finish a book this week too. I finished Forever and a Day, which is a prequel to the James Bond books of world renown.
Yeah.
So this is James Bond's first mission as a 00. It was really good. I don't have any like predisposed bias to compare it to.
Sure.
But for a venture into the James Bond world, I loved it. It was awesome.
Nice.
Good spy book. Great Bond girl. Her name was 16. It's spelled Tine. It's weird. I don't know. But she was awesome. It really sets up Casino Royale, even the movie, which I thought was a lot of fun because he gets brought on as a 00 after essentially the opening scene of the movie. It's like, oh, this is pretty wild. I feel like I just watched this. But no, that's now 3 books since finishing Dune, so I'm on a roll. I started a book called Sleeping Giants. It's written kind of in the same vein as The Martian, but it's a million times better than The Martian for me.
Nice.
I didn't really like The Martian that much.
You like the movie more than the...
I've not seen the movie.
You haven't seen the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
man.
wanted to read the book first.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen that movie.
It's a good movie.
That's a great movie.
I need to watch it.
Also, that's a great book. I really liked that book.
I did not like it as much.
I'll say
but
this.
it was good.
If you are interested in reading The Martian,
Listen to it.
do the audiobook.
Yeah. And
Because
that's what I've heard. I read it.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it.
It's a bunch of kind of audio logs, and he's like recapping his day, and it works really, really good as an audiobook.
I think I even remember telling you, Luke, when I was reading it, I was like, yeah, I think this is probably something that's meant for an audiobook. But I still need to watch that movie. Thank you guys for reminding me. I finished the Battle Pass on Apex Legends. I've never done that. So I got the Tier 100. Obviously, I can go to Tier 110 and get one more thing, but I'm pretty happy that I got to 100. And then because of Apex Legends, I decided to re-download Titanfall 2 and play that campaign. Have you beat the Titanfall 2 campaign?
Oh, yeah.
I know you have as well. You played it pretty recently. And I beat that last week, and I loved it. It was so good.
It's a very good campaign.
I may or may not have cried a little bit, which I didn't expect to do, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
BT, man.
I'm still so upset that there's not a Titanfall 3. Like I just, they have to find a way to make that game happen.
If they delete Apex forever and you get Titanfall 3.
I would take Titanfall 3.
Okay.
And I love Apex, but
Yeah.
it would just be a part of it. But man, the Apex Predators.
They had to go and
like,
and make
so
an
cool.
awesome Star Wars game. That's the problem. Because now it's like,
No, you want to know what the real problem is?
Darn it, they had to go and be a good studio. Shucks.
You want to know what the real problem is? I enjoyed the Titanfall gameplay way more than I enjoy the Star Wars game. Way more.
it's different. I
I
mean,
would not even compare them.
Well,
they're two different genres.
but you can see where they use some of the same
for sure.
assets. Like
they've got similar aspects.
yeah, and the
There's
assets they
things.
use for the worlds in their Star Wars game are very similar to what you see in Titanfall. And it was weird having played the Star Wars game before this from a campaign perspective. But
Sure.
either way, fun fact, Yuri Lowenthal plays a minor character named Davis in that, and he's also Spider-Man in the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game. And I was like, he has an entrance. I'm like, oh man, that dude's awesome. And then like the credits rolled and it said Yuri Lowenthal, and I was like, what? That dude is awesome. So obviously super
Confirmation.
successful now. But the last thing I did, and I don't know, I guess I'll talk about it now before we get into news. I played Rocket Arena.
Yeah.
This is EA's venture into like the arena shooter kind of
Battle
genre.
Royale. Oh no, this is not the Battle
Yeah,
Royale.
it's kind of like Overwatch.
Okay.
And in this, it's a 3v3 rocket-based competitive multiplayer game.
Like rocket launcher or like spaceship?
Like everybody has a certain form of rocket launcher, like very specific.
Glad I got that confirmation.
It was free to play over the weekend, so I downloaded to try it out because I saw a lot of people hating on it on the internet, and I was like, you know what? I'll see what this is about. I
Don't
played
let
it
the
for a few
internet
hours.
form your opinions.
Yeah,
for
no,
you.
I mean, I was just curious because it was getting trashed, and I had a ton of fun with it. I loved it. I would highly recommend it. Honestly, it's so fun, and it just the controls are a little complex. Like I would say that's probably the only two cons. Controls are a little complex, and it's a little light on content for a $30 game.
Sure.
And so that's the problem, right? It's a $30 game. It's light on content, and it has a battle pass.
Yeah.
So I think EA quickly realized, oh crap, we messed up. It was $5. It is $5 until I think August 8th.
Oh, nice.
So I went ahead and picked it up because I thought it was a lot of fun, and I hope that it grows a community. But man, once you kind of figure out those controls and kind of figure out what works for you with the different characters, it launched with 11 characters. Like that's pretty good for this kind of game, I think. But once you kind of master those controls a little bit, you really do feel like awesome. Like you're flying around the map because you can triple jump, you can shoot at the ground to launch yourself up. You can some characters fly like
classic Halo.
Yeah, no,
like
it's awesome.
Grenade jumping.
Yep.
And,
there's so many cool little things like that, and it kind of reminds you of older games where you were able to kind of cheat the system. Like I can't tell you how many times I would get knocked off the map. I'd use my triple jump up. I'm like, oh crap, how am I gonna get up? So I start shooting the wall in front of me to launch myself up and to get back on the map. It's so cool. It's called Rocket Arena because obviously there's rockets, but you also get blasted when your damage gets too high, like Smash Bros, and you get launched into the wall, and it's basically Smash Bros. You get boom, and you come back into the game. Super cool, super fun. For the time I played it, I'd give it probably a fanboy worthy. If you like arena shooters, if you are a fan of Overwatch, and you're looking for something to kind of fill that gap for $5, you can easily get a ton of fun out of it. Lepke, who's actually in the chat, said something to me this weekend that I had never really thought about in terms of video games, because I was talking to him about it, and he played a little bit with me, and I was like, man, I kind of want to pick it up because it's $5, and I'm really having a lot of fun with it. And he goes, hey man, like think of it like a movie. You pay $10 to go see a 2-hour movie, right? If you get 2 hours of fun out of this, it was worth it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never thought about that with video games, but it's kind of true. Like, for $5, what do you have to lose? So until August 8th, I would highly recommend checking this one out. Maybe picking it up for $5, even if you hate EA.
You may have convinced me. I'm kind of looking for a fun little arena shooter to keep me occupied until Halo comes out.
Yeah, and it has it's called the Blast Pass. You don't have to buy it. Like I didn't buy it, but the progression on it's really fast. Like I was at, I think like tier 8 already.
Oh, nice.
And I played
over the weekend.
11 games.
Yeah.
So like it moves quick. There's daily challenges. There's a lot of characters with a lot of different skins. Fun music, fun game modes. It really has a little bit of everything. It has like that cartoony graphics, so it makes it a little bit easier to not get frustrated.
It's got a fun art style.
Yeah, and man, the gameplay loop is really good. Once you kind of master those controls, you really feel powerful. Yeah. So if you haven't already and you're interested, check out Rocket Arena. They did not sponsor me. I just really thought it was a ton of fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool.
That it?
Flag. That is it. Play Rocket Arena, Luke.
Luke and I, we didn't play this together. We played. We each played Disintegration.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
It had its free weekend as well.
I didn't get to play it a whole lot.
Yeah, you kind of hopped in.
I was very late.
Boo.
Yeah, boo me. Boo.
I love that game. I had a lot of fun. That probably surprises no one. But I hope people pick it up. I think it's still on. Today might be the last day, or yesterday may have been the day that it was on sale for Xbox. But I think it's still on sale for PS4 and PC. So
I think I did see that the
I only
PS4
played
runs longer.
Yeah,
I only played 2 multiplayer matches. Just did it real quick, just so I could kind of get some flavor. In one, I played Tech Noir, so I could heal my buddies, and the other one I played Business, so I could absolutely just destroy people.
Tech Noir is quickly becoming a new favorite of mine, just because it's fun to be able to like go ahead and heal all of your friends
And snipe people.
And I actually play them more as like Halo 3 kind of sniping, which is you play with your sniper as a shotgun.
Yeah.
So you just like charge them. Boom, 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 boom.
It's the triple take of Apex.
Yeah, exactly.
It did take me a while to like remember the controls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that first game was it was
Where
bad.
your hands do this kind of thing. And you're like, yeah.
It was more just like, what is this thing in my hands and how do I use it? A controller? What? Google controller.
So,
How does this work?
should we move on to some news?
We should.
Let's do it.
Do you want to
Sweet.
start with controllers since we were just talking about controls?
Yeah, why not?
So today,
Today?
Sony announced that, and Brett, you may have to help me with this because it's this is the dumbest news story I've ever seen. So you can use PS4 controllers on the PS5, but you can't play PS5 games with a PS4 controller, right?
Correct. If you want to play
That's it. That's the tweet.
PS5 games, you have to use the PS5 controller because Sony is essentially telling developers,
To use the DualSense technology
right,
in your game.
which I don't know how that works with cross-generational games. Am I going to be able to play Destiny 2 on my PS5 with a PS4 controller? I don't know.
Well, I think you could because it is a PS4 game as well. I think they just mean the new stuff.
The new exclusive stuff.
Yeah, like Miles Morales, you will have to use a PS5 controller.
It's so frustrating that that's not going to be on PS4.
And then, so in that story too, they kind of commented here and there. There's a couple things. A camera that's you could get an adapter for.
You can carry around your PS5 controller when you go on vacation and just it's got a camera in the front.
Yeah. I think certain VR
People carry their
stuff,
DSs
but a
with
lot of their accessories, PS4 accessories, won't work. And they said they just kind of they'll have more to talk about. So
Listen,
my guess is
as long as my headphones and headset work,
You'll be good.
we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
So while we're still on Sony,
Yeah.
and there's more to talk about, August 6th, they will have a PS4 and PSVR focused state of play that will go about 40 minutes. It will not include any major announcements for the PS5.
So no release date and no price.
Yep.
So VR end of life.
Yep.
What if they bring back the PlayStation Move? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the
The bubble
bubble. Yeah,
the snow cone remote, maybe.
and they had the ball on the end of the
Gosh, so goofy looking.
massage.
Whatever
ball,
happened to
right?
all the motion control?
What happened to the Wii?
Remember the Kinect?
It's still in my
I
heart.
do remember the Kinect.
Dude, Connect Bowling was lit.
I never owned a Kinect.
I did.
Yeah,
I owned
No, I didn't.
I played Fruit Ninja. It was actually really good. That was a great game.
2
for
Kinects. I owned 3 Kinects.
Are you
Okay.
a Kinect apologist?
No,
That's too much.
well, I
one
owned
we can
I owned the 360 Kinect
Oh, that's
so
the
that
one
I could yell grenade in Halo CE anniversary and Master Chief would throw a grenade.
I know you could yell Fusro Dawn, you'd Fusro Dawn Skyrim.
I remember the first time the Kinect came out, like with the Xbox One, and somebody was playing 2K, and they cussed, and they got teed up in the game. And I was like, oh, man, this is amazing. And I never got a Kinect.
Yeah, I got the day one Xbox.
Which just came with one.
Came with one. Oh, and they may have had an unbundled SDK by then. I don't remember. But then on the second Xbox One, I got a bundle. They were super cheap by that point, so I just got one with it because we did some of those dancing games and.
Did you dance a lot?
No. But I was subscribed. Xbox had like a whole fitness program thing that you could do. That was kind of cool. That got killed.
Yeah.
Lots of discontinued things there.
Ring Fit Adventure for the Switch if you want to exercise and
there
play
we go.
games.
Apparently, you get a great workout in that game.
And it's an RPG.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Too crazy.
That will be our next stream.
Oh my gosh, we should totally do that.
Oh no!
Apparently, it's really strong though. The
They
ring.
should let bodybuilders try to break it.
Oh,
I feel like they had a event or whatever where they had like some. It wasn't a bodybuilder, but it was some exercise guru like use it, and they're like working up a sweat and like actually getting a good workout in. They're like, wow, this thing is actually good.
And then they reveal that Sean T is the one who made it.
Oh, I'm going to buy it just so I can break it.
Sean T and Tanya.
Oh, Tanya, I hate you so much.
So, in other gaming news...
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's all good. We're just here for the ride.
That's right.
Luke is the captain of this
Tangent ship.
And we don't know where we're going, but we're all here.
That's how you know it's an adventure.
Xbox.
Now I'm going to have to watch Back to the Future, all three of them tonight. Thanks.
Oh, I watched it a couple weeks ago.
Xbox kind of subtly did some rebranding this last week with their Game Pass. They dropped Xbox Game Pass, and now it's just called Game Pass, which
makes sense with the PC.
With the PC, I'm still holding on hope to one of my predictions, which is that Game Pass is coming to Switch.
Oh man, that'd be so cool.
Oh, come on, baby, make it happen.
It wouldn't surprise me. That's probably your safest prediction.
I just need them to announce
I've
that
got like
Xbox
no. I don't think I
have
have any predictions correct so far this year. So
I don't have any.
But there's also some rumors around that as well with how Xbox Live and their like their subscription levels is going to kind of get redone so that Xbox Live Gold is kind of no longer a thing. You can buy maybe a silver thing for just...
Do you remember when silver was actually a thing?
I do remember when silver was actually
the free thing that you couldn't do anything with.
But then that kind of, it's either going to be you're paying for multiplayer access to things, or you're subscribed to Game Pass, and those will probably be the only two options.
And the price point will probably be $15.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, while we're talking about Game Pass, sorry, I'm just going to keep it moving.
Do it, baby.
Battletoads is going to hit Game Pass August 20th. They kind of shadow dropped that. It wasn't in their showcase. And then they were just like...
Battletoads has been this thing where they've kind of like quietly been like, Battletoads hint here, Battletoads hint there.
I think there was a Battletoad in one of the trailers at the showcase.
It was. For Grounded, maybe? Like, it was like a...
I'll talk about Grounded next.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, I do remember
But I think it may have been in that trailer or a poster or something. Yeah. Anyways.
Yep. So Battletoads, August 20th to Game Pass. Lepke was pretty excited about it, so I assume I'm going to play that with him. Or you guys. I think it's 4-player.
Let's do it.
We could all be Battletoads.
Yeah.
Punch stuff. Isn't it like Streets of Rage? Don't you just walk down a side-scrolling menu and punch people as a frog?
Punch things as frogs. Why not?
Oh, man. You guys remember Street Sharks?
Oh, my gosh.
That's what I keep thinking of when I think of Battletoads.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about.
Love it.
Do you remember Street Sharks?
I think a shark would die if it was on the street.
Okay. You're real fun at parties, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm the partiest partier.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Luke, go ahead. I think we're out of Game Pass.
Oh, no, that's definitely my safest bet. Number 10.
Not in 2020, though.
What is it?
We'll see.
Halo Infinite getting a Battle Royale.
Oh.
It might have gotten a little extra boost this past week, but...
So... There was an update on a game that only I care about.
Is it updated officially yet, or was
it's
it
not
the blog post?
It was just the blog post.
Okay.
Things are coming in 2 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It was not an update to the game, but just an update on their progress on, I guess, how bad they botched it and how much they're trying to fix it. The lead dude at BioWare released a blog about all the stuff that they're working on in Anthem, and they had like a lot of images on different ways that they're like trying to update the way guns look and how menus will look and how you can buy stuff from people now.
How gear is acquired.
Yeah.
You know,
the loot system. The loot system in that game was a struggle.
You never look at your loot until the end of the mission.
You never knew what you were getting, which is fine if you... Like, I know in like Destiny, you get a prime engram. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
Everything else, you pick up the engram, it's like, cool, I got another blue thing.
Yeah.
Elite. But in this, it's just, I have 40 of these things to figure out what they are. And it was super frustrating. There wasn't a lot of variety. You didn't get good stuff all the time. And they're kind of updating a lot of that system. Anyway, the entire blog was just pretty much, we're still working on this. And it's going to be a while.
I would not hate. That's going to be a very thankless job to be working on that game at this point, especially after the fact that so many of the leads have moved on to other things, have left the company entirely. It's one of those. I'm excited, but only to a certain extent, because how much can you fix the game?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's more than just fixing. It's going to have to come with a pretty great expansion at the same time to really get people excited again about it. But all that said,
yeah,
I guess it's cool
and it's
that
like,
they're not giving up on it.
It's kind of unfortunate too, because I don't think that game is bad in really any regard. It's just did not live up to expectation of anything they promised. I still maintain that it has some of the best combat I've ever played. I love getting into encounters in that game.
It's got good combat, yeah. Especially when you get an actual squad,
or if it works,
and you combo
that game
and
never
like
works
that stuff's pretty fun.
I had a Division experience with
yeah.
that game, and it just I could
Although
never get it
yours
to work.
crashed, mine just never did more than
Yeah, no,
that.
I would play it 5 minutes, crash,
Yeah.
get back in, 20 minutes, crash. I'm like, okay, this is.
Dude, it's so weird because Anthem has never crashed on me once.
I remember it shut my whole Xbox off one time. I was like, what? What?
Yeah, I've had connectivity issues, and I have to leave the mission or something.
I had to unplug my Xbox
Oh no.
playing it. It was the weirdest. I've never seen it happen.
Oh, Anthem, such great memories. I should play that game again to see what is different. Nothing will be different.
Their menus will look just like Destiny's.
Every game's menu looks like Destiny's
Even Marvel's
now.
Avengers.
Very true. Anywho,
Yeah.
I don't have any more. Oh, I do have one more video game stuff.
I tried to
It's
tee
just
you
the
up
Avengers
a little
stuff.
bit.
Oh, speaking of Avengers, I know, Simon. I'm sorry. I screwed the pooch on that one. Yes, I talked to the podcat.
We all do. I talk to the podcat about my problems.
He's a great listener.
He is. He doesn't offer much advice, but he's a great listener.
And if it's advice, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Thanks for nothing.
there was more released for Marvel's Avengers from Square Enix. They released a trailer and revealed that Hawkeye is going to be the first DLC character.
Yeah, so we're getting lots of DLC characters. Well, maybe not lots. We're not aware of how many DLC characters.
I'm sure there'll be quite a few.
My guess is
Yeah.
there's going to be a nice little content drop
They should
throughout the
do it-
year of
They should do
characters.
it like fighter packs, like an Injustice and Smash Bros. Like you buy this $15 DLC and you get these 3 characters or something.
Yeah.
But
$15 for each character, or just one of the two, maybe.
I think it's going to probably be close to that.
Yeah.
It's going to be like DLC, but because it depends on campaigns and how they handle all of that.
Mm-hmm.
The other part with that was maybe today it was revealed that Spider-Man will be the next character,
So dope.
but only for PlayStation.
Not dope.
What?
So bad.
It's a
This is stupid.
And a lot of
bad decision.
I thought we were past the console exclusive
It
stuff
is-
like that.
super dumb. And I keep seeing a lot of people going, well, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. You're right, they do for movies. That's the only real exclusivity of the rights mumbo jumbo where all that gets involved. But I don't get
Let it
this.
rip.
This is so stupid.
Yeah.
I saw somebody post that this is really good for PlayStation and horrible for Spider-Man fans or fans of the Avengers or video game fans.
I
Because if people are going to want that character and they happen to have both consoles, they're going to get it on PlayStation now,
Right.
which helps Sony PlayStation.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have both. They either have an Xbox or a PlayStation.
Yeah.
So, fresh out of luck. No Spider-Man for you. It's dumb. I can't. So stupid. I hated all that stuff with Call of Duty when I used to play Call of Duty.
I hated all that stuff with Destiny.
Destiny, yeah.
Back in Destiny 1, even early Destiny 2. Mm-hmm. Activision was like, hey.
Who wants to pay for it?
Okay, and it's a double-edged sword because one, the only group that this is good for is Sony as not as Sony game developer, as Sony the console maker, right? Because it's going to push hardware. That's the only people it benefits. That's why they write the check. It hurts the game because let me back that up. It hurts the players because you have potentially maybe not half your population just based on projected number of sales of things. A large portion, though, 30% of your population isn't getting part of the game. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, how much development work are you going to put into that character?
So
you might be actually hurting also the players who get it because it might not be that worth it depending on how much the developer can actually sink into that. That's what we saw with Destiny content. The Destiny content that Xbox players finally got, we just laughed at. This is the worst strike ever.
What strike was it?
Lake of Shadows?
What?
The one you can literally run through in 5 minutes?
That one that's Nightfall the Ordeal every 2 weeks?
And the armor sets were never that... Like, they're armor sets.
I got Militia's a Birthright on my first try of that strike.
Nice.
Wait till they do this. They're going to be like, yeah, Spider-Man's only on PS4. This character's only on Xbox. Oh, and there's going to be crossplay. And then everybody's like, wait, so I can't get the characters from both sides, and I can play with people who have them, but I can't use them?
Yeah.
That's when it'll get even more messy.
It's just, we are at...
It's just a weird juncture.
I just think in 2020... And maybe this is just because I tend to lean towards Xbox, and I really appreciate the message that Phil Spencer has been pushing, which is gamers first. I just feel like console exclusives, it's not a gamers first mentality. It just bums me out. Whatever. I'll be mad at it. It doesn't affect me. I wasn't gonna buy this game anyways, so.
Yeah, I don't know. When you talk about like what Spencer's talking about, I listened to a lot of podcasts this past week where what's his freaking name?
Oh, Major Larry Herb.
Yeah, Larry Herb was on Kind of Funny like all week, and they kind of got into the gamers first thing, and they were talking about like all of the hardware from the Xbox One will be usable on the Series X. Like everything they're doing, they're trying to make it consumer friendly. And they kind of got into like exclusives, and that was exactly what they said. They're like, well, it doesn't help anybody but one party.
Yeah.
We want everybody to be able to play everything. And like you can kind of tell, like it doesn't seem rehearsed, right? Like it sounds like they truly feel that way. And it's kind of refreshing when someone I'm going to give a bunch of money to sounds like they're thinking about me.
Right.
It feels good.
Battle Rifle's over in the chat asking about, did Mortal Kombat do DLC for Mortal Kombat 9 with Kratos that was exclusive to PS3?
Yes.
Okay. I would say I don't know that.
Yes. But that kind of makes sense because Kratos is a Sony exclusive character. Like he's not in anything else.
Yeah.
Right. So Kratos is a character owned
an
IP that's owned by Sony.
You know what it makes me think of is like I think Soul Calibur like released on Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation, and all three of them had exclusive characters to those specific consoles. Mm-hmm. I remember that because I can't remember. I think Sony's was. I can't remember.
Was it a Star Wars? character on Xbox or something?
Probably.
Then was Link in the Nintendo?
Link was the Nintendo one.
Was it a Final Fantasy character? I don't know why I'm bringing this
remember.
up. I've never played those games.
Yeah, but I just like it makes me think of those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
And then like kind of just with all the rights, like I know like we had talked about WB Games being bought by Microsoft. I don't really know everything with that, but as far as like Spider-Man goes, Insomniac was hired to make the Spider-Man game.
Yep.
And they are exclusive to Sony.
Yep. Now, yeah.
Yeah, they are a Sony company. That's why that game is on
Crazy
PlayStation
how
only.
the turntables. Sunset Overdrive.
It's a good game.
I never beat it. But
Never played it.
I never beat it either,
But that is super lame.
While we dump on something that Sony did, I'll save that. Never mind. We won't. I was gonna go to this, but that's probably the last one we need to talk about because it's pretty big. Did you guys see the Call of Duty update that came
the
out today?
season 5 stuff, or
Yeah, well, their download is 36 gigabytes or something like that.
Of course.
But they're compressing the game, so now it won't be as big.
Oh,
So like the
hallelujah!
No way.
Right. So
You're
now,
lying. You're a liar.
so you download 36 gigs to make your game smaller. Yep, that's how that works. Oxymoron.
Interesting.
You should read the
I
headline.
was trying to think of a food analogy, but I couldn't think of one.
You
like
should-
you put in more meat to a burrito to make it smaller or something. I don't know.
like more lettuce to have less calories.
I think it is interesting. I think both.
Eating a ton
Yeah.
of lettuce, but you get
I think
Good job.
I know at least
So
with
weird.
certain Xbox 343 developers have kind of said it going forward. There's a good chance they'll kind of let you download parts of games.
Yeah. That so Call of Duty does that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I
hopefully
deleted
that
the campaign.
continues to be a thing.
Did you ever beat the campaign?
No.
Going forward, as especially at the beginning of, well, maybe not at the very beginning, but like a year and a half, 2 years into the next generation, I think we're going to be feeling, all these 4K graphics, they take up a lot of space.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see what next gen looks like in terms of that, because like I think having both consoles, that's one of the biggest things I notice is like the Xbox I can fit way more games on than my PlayStation. Like I have like 5 games on my PlayStation and I have to delete 40 gigs to download anything. I'm just like, man, why is it always this way? But I think Sony just has a lot of extra stuff on it when you get it.
You all see that thing about Halo Infinite?
That was the thing I was avoiding, but yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Go for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, so we had a little leak and then a confirmation that Halo Infinite multiplayer is going to be free to play.
This is insane. This is what I was talking about when I said, let's hate on Sony for one thing, but let's really praise Xbox for another. This is wild.
Yeah. So free to play Halo.
What was your first thought when you saw that?
I'm not surprised.
Like, that was the first thing that came to your mind?
Yeah.
What was yours?
I won't be playing a lot of Halo multiplayer.
My first thought was, how big is this campaign? Because that's what you're buying. You're not buying the multiplayer anymore, which has always been
even
one of their biggest things.
That aside, I feel like a lot of people will be switching to Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I mean, yeah, you're still paying for it, but in a different way.
And I think like
they'll monetize the piss out of this
like
multiplayer.
I predicted
Pay $30 for this new gun.
like I predicted last week, I'll just reiterate. I think Halo Infinite is going to have quite a number of activities for you to do. It's not just campaign and multiplayer anymore. It's campaign, it's this live game, there's classic multiplayer, there's battle royale, and all that's going to be tied together probably in some sort of there's going to be a battle pass. And
as long as they keep tanks out of the friggin' battle royale, I'll be happy. Dude, I cannot wait to see, like, it's probably 4 people, right? So 2 people driving Warthogs, 2 people on gunners.
Oh, yes.
Just mobbing through the map. It's going to be so funny. And then I'm going to die. I'm going to be pissed. I'm like, that's a waste of time. I'm going to go play regular multiplayer. All the sweaties will
That's
play
okay. We'll be
Battle
able.
Royale.
Hopefully, you'll be able to get like picked up, and then like you can like be reinserted via like a ODST drop pod.
Boom! Woo!
Come
Step
play
out
Anthem with me.
Nah, I'm alright.
Good joke.
I do wonder, one of the things in Halo 5, they said they were going away from rec packs, which...
And they've said no loot boxes in Halo Infinite.
So I hope that they make their armor, like, earnable. Like, behind challenges or a battle pass system. Or you know what I mean? Like, make it so that everybody can acquire the things they want and make the things that obviously everybody's going to want harder to get, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the best way to handle that. And then they'll have their $10 battle pass, I'm sure. And I'll dump $10 into at least the first season or two just to, see if it's something I like. But this excites me.
Agreed.
Halo in more people's hands is always a good thing.
Well, and we tend to get there tends to be an issue that games as service don't have because they're constantly evolving and ongoing. And Halo has always had, at least with 343, because they tend to take longer between games, which is after a while it does not become. It's not monetarily beneficial to keep working and putting resources into developing that current game because they're working on the next game.
Right.
This Halo Infinite as a platform allows them to say, this is our multiplayer platform for the next
7 to 10 years.
Yeah, 7 to 10 years would be my guess. And we're going to be able to constantly keep it going, constantly keep it fresh in ways that they've never been able to do before. So, I'm really excited about that.
So this goes back to something we all talked about a long time ago. I hate Fortnite.
Yeah.
But man, did it push gaming forward. I mean, this is this is directly because of the success Fortnite has had. And thank you, Lepke, for saying that this weekend. I know you're probably going to mention it in the chat, but no, I mean, this is a direct response to how successful Fortnite has been. And I'm so glad that something like that happened because it's been so good for gaming.
Yeah. Battle Rifle, I know you are in the chat. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts. If you just want to just shoot us a little message in the chat about how you feel Halo Infinite reveal went and if you're excited about.
Are you going to pick up a battle rifle?
Multiplayer as free to play because that's where you're. I can only assume that's where your name came from. So
he doesn't use Chief.
We gonna pick up him.
Yeah. So.
But no, this is huge news. I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait for Halo. I haven't felt this way about a Halo game since probably Halo 3.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And I would expect more news, more official news this month. This was obviously just a kind of a leak and then like we have more to share later, but here's the confirmation.
Microsoft is so good about like responding to what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have one more gaming story.
Yep, go for it.
Cyberpunk 2077 will not have a beta. Which this did not surprise me, but there was an email scam going on about beta codes. And so CD Projekt Red was kind of forced to come out and say, like, no, we're not going to do a beta. The game's going to launch when it launches, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, good on them to, kind of nip that in the butt, but I hope people don't use that as a way to get studios to confirm things in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because part of, like, at least for me, part of getting excited about games is not really knowing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And so I hope that this doesn't become a thing.
Yep. Agreed.
Yes.
I got 2 more stories after that. But
Me too.
hit one. No, don't punch your iPad. Bad moves.
Dude, it would survive. It's old enough now. That'd be okay.
It's a brick.
Kind of. The first one I have is
Why do we let him do things?
every squad needs the weird one. I'm filling a
He's the
role.
guy, like,
He's
when
that-
we're looting over here, he's like 100 meters the other direction. Guys, I got shot. What
Guys,
the heck?
in Destiny, I'm technically supposed to be a hunter.
He's Ghidorah's left head.
Heck yes, I'm Ghidorah's left head. It's the
I think we
strongest
would
head.
all want to be some part of Ghidorah anyways. So.
I am on the left.
Yeah. That's
So it
that's
makes
why I said
sense.
it, yeah.
Anywho, Emmy nominations came out this week.
They did.
Yeah.
We usually don't really talk about Emmys, I feel like.
But we are
But-
this time.
But this year, there was actually a show that actually deserved it that we all watched, and it's superhero based. Watchmen led all nominations with 26.
So many.
And I don't really remember what they all are, but yeah, they're all deserved.
Here's the thing, right? Like, we're all juiced about Watchmen, but the field this year is incredible. Yeah. Like, I was looking through the nominations with Dana, and we were just like, yeah. Like, there's not one that...
There was good
there was
TV.
Not very many where I was like, no. Like, every single one I was like, yeah.
There's a lot of good TV in the past year.
And I haven't heard Dana get excited about the Emmys, but she's watched a lot of, like, The Morning Show and all these shows that got nominated, Big Little Lie, or Little Fires Everywhere, shows like that. She's like, yeah, that category is going to be so crazy to watch because it's Watchmen, Little Fires Everywhere, The Morning Show. It's like all these actresses and actors. And I was like, man, it's going to be a good year at the Emmys. I'm curious to see how they present them too.
But yeah, rooting for Watchmen.
Oh, yeah. I hope that wins all 26 it's nominated for.
Oh, that would be insane. I think Netflix led with... Heck yeah, that's me. Look at those sexy eyes.
Peanut butter and gumballs.
No peanut butter and jelly. We all know how important jelly
I was
is.
doing crazy eyes from Mr. Deeds, man.
Well, I was going through our previous conversation that nobody else was privy to.
We'll talk about that later. Another day.
I think Netflix led with most nominations.
Yes, 146 or something like that.
And then HBO.
Yeah, 103 or
Which
something
honestly
like
to
that.
me makes sense. Netflix puts out way more shows.
Yeah.
They have a new show that comes out every
Couple weeks.
week. Multiple.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
The other thing I have is, we've talked about this before, so we don't need to go into super detail, but the rumor / confirmation of the rumor is back that Haley Steinfeld has been cast as Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. I think we'd all be okay with that.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. I'm still not I'm not Weddy. I'm not really ready to accept that it's been confirmed. It's still all, I feel like, he said, she said, we got this covered, reported stuff.
Yeah.
I won't accept it until Hollywood Reporter says something. Because they're the top dog.
Or till she says something.
Yeah, or she's like, oh yeah, I'm doing the show. Cool.
I'm going to release an album around the same time.
And it coincides with the show.
It's Hawkeye themed. Is that all you got?
Kate Bishop themed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay.
Oh! I actually totally forgot about this.
I saw this too. I was wondering if you'd bring it up.
The Batman Death in the Family trailer. Did you see this, Brett?
I did not.
Are you putting our names on that? Oh my
You
god.
freaking better. I deserve that title.
You earned it.
I earned it. I work hard every week for that. So, have you watched Batman Under the Red Hood at all?
No. Sorry. Is that one on...
We'll beat him up later, Tyler.
Oh my god.
We will beat him up later.
That is one of the best animated movies ever.
Yes, I thought you were going to say one of the best DC animated movies.
No.
One of the best animated movies ever.
And I'm super biased, but I truly believe that.
It is fantastic, and it does the rare thing where the movie is better than the comic.
Yes.
It fixes a lot of holes. And it's the story about the second Robin, Jason Todd, becoming alter ego Red Hood. Anyway, there's another version of that coming out, except it's an interactive film.
This is so cool.
I honestly don't know how I feel about it.
Like, I
like the idea. Hold on, let me explain.
Okay, go
So, the idea is the Joker has caught Robin, and you can decide whether or not Joker kills him, Robin gets away, or Batman saves him.
Yeah.
And that leads into multiple stories about how he progresses as Robin or maybe not Robin.
Oh.
I don't know if I hated Bandersnatch so much.
Do the Kimmy Schmidt one. Dana did it.
I don't like Kimmy Schmidt.
Me either. But I know Dana did that one.
I watched that show for 30 seconds and I was like, nope.
So here's what I think is cool about this. Brett, history lesson.
Okay, I'm ready.
Luke, answer the question.
Red Hood. He's your favorite character.
Well, yes. No. Here's the question.
I was trying to.
How did they decide in the past if Jason Todd would live or die?
They had fans of DC Comics call in to vote kill the kid or let the boy live.
So now we get to choose it at home, and we get to redo this thing.
Although it will be less rigged.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was super rigged.
Yeah.
Some dude set up like a phone repeater, and it just kept calling.
Yeah, that's why Robin's dead.
And it was-
he was one of the greatest characters of Batman family.
And it was still close. Like that's the crazy part. Is like people actually did like Jason Todd. It was still close.
But yeah, this is cool to kind of take part
Yeah.
in a retelling of it.
Yep. I'm really curious to see what the story is if you let him live.
From the trailer, it looked like if he gets away, he becomes Hush. If he gets saved, he becomes a violent Red Robin. And if he dies, it's normal Red Hood storyline.
That sucks that it already shows it, but
Yeah.
I know it's a short. It's not very long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm also curious how many decisions you actually make.
a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, super cool.
Very interesting.
Do you have any more news stories? I have two small ones.
I've got one kind of big one.
Okay, I'll hit my two small ones
All right.
real quick. So, I know everybody has really been waiting for a new Splinter Cell announcement, and we got it. Guys, Splinter Cell is back as an anime on Netflix. So, if that's your thing, good for you. And then Pixar made an announcement this week with the movie Luca. You guys,
What'd you say about me?
not you. The movie Luca, about a kid and his summer on the Italian Riviera.
He's a sea monster.
Well, don't spoil it for
It's in the description.
Is it really? In the synopsis?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it is.
I'm pretty sure. I'm going to IMDb.
I don't think it was.
I don't know, but this is classic Luke right here.
But it's Pixar. It's gonna make me cry, and I'm gonna love it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
freak
True
out.
that.
It's not-
I'm so ready for a new. I'm so bummed that we didn't get Soul this summer.
Oh, I know.
Um.
Jamie Foxx was gonna rock.
I'm just ready for a good movie cry.
Man, did you see how excited he was when he found out he got casted for that?
No, I
He
don't
was
think
so
I
pumped.
saw
He
that.
put a video out about it.
That's awesome.
I think it was finally like his moment of I made it, which is
Being-
kind of crazy.
being in
to
a
me,
Pixar
but
movie.
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Luca centers on a young boy living on the Italian Riviera who shares adventures with his newfound best friend, but a dark secret about his true identity. He's a sea monster from another world just below the water surface.
Oh, it is there.
All right.
I did not see that synopsis.
Boom!
Good job.
Left Ghidorah head. Forever!
That was very loud.
I'm sorry.
You need to lean back when you yell.
I tried to go above.
All right. Well, that is the end of my news stories. Brett, hit us with this last big one.
Last big one.
I totally forgot this happened this week.
So remember that feud that Universal had with AMC, where they're like, "We're not gonna."
I forgot about this too.
Yeah. This is a huge deal. This is huge.
Well, it turns out they must have been meeting in the back alleys.
You know what it was? Remember that Michael B. Jordan show I pitched? He navigated him through the waters. He got
them
it
there.
done.
He got 'em
I know
there.
why we forgot about it. It happened on Tuesday.
It did. It did happen on Tuesday, right after we.
Freaking Tuesday.
So yeah, so
We
Universal
texted about it. All of us.
made a deal with AMC for a shortened theatrical window.
This is so weird.
So movies will have the ability. They probably won't do this for every movie, but movies will have the ability to go video on demand rental at a quote unquote regular price. So that's $20 to $25 after 17 days in theaters. Wow. This is what normally it's 90 days, I think.
Yeah, too long.
It is too long. But this doesn't say anything about actually movies being purchasable yet. Like, this is simply a rental subsidy, and AMC gets a cut of each rental.
Interesting. Do you know what the percentage cut is?
Unspecified.
And I imagine if a movie's doing super good, they'll be like, no, we're going to leave it in.
So this is really weird. I have a desk calendar at work,
Mm-hmm.
and it's football related. Well, I looked at tomorrow's because the answer is always on the back, so I always know the next days. Well, I never thought I'd see George Lucas in a football calendar.
Oh, yeah.
But it pertains to what we're talking about.
Okay.
So it's a quote from George Lucas, and it said, movies and like they were talking about movie theaters and movies being in theaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it's just like sports and football games, right? Like you can watch it at home, but the stands are never empty. And it's the same. Like if you can watch these movies at home, people will still go see movies at the theater.
Yeah.
I will still go see movies at the theater. And so I'm interested to see how this plays out over time, because I do think we'll have scenarios where Fast 20 will be doing really well in theaters, and they'll be like, maybe we should push it back. Like, don't bring it to video on demand. What will be really weird is how they announce those kinds of things. Like if they're like 17 days, it'll be available on demand, and then it makes $1 billion in the first 2 weeks, and they're like, 17 more days and it'll be available. Like they'll have to keep pushing it.
I also think from a business perspective, I'm not yet on the this is good or there's a lot of doomsday for theater talk going around. I'm not convinced that this is that.
I don't think so.
What I will say as maybe a positive, especially going into 2021, when we will theoretically have 16 billion movies coming out. This is a way for Universal to and AMC to have a movie in theaters for 17 days. If it's doing really well, there's not a lot of competition, they can keep it in there. If it's going to get hammered by competition, there's a bunch of things coming in and its movies are going to kind of get pushed out. It can all of a sudden be rented at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very interesting dynamic than when you have people who maybe still aren't comfortable going out to theaters, all of a sudden being able to see something new when more competition comes into the actual physical theater space, because there's not really physical competition on a digital marketplace. There is in the sense of screen space, like where is it positioned, how is it advertised, and they figure that out with different storefronts.
Mm-hmm.
But not like it in theaters where if Disney's going to come in with a new release, they're going to bully Universal out because it's Disney. And they've made deals that they have, in order to get the new Star Wars movie, you have to have this other movie in the theater for X number of weeks. And unfortunately,
Artemis Fowl's coming to theaters.
Unfortunately, there's just that problem, and other studios cannot compete with Disney. Warner may be the only other one who can actually compete with Disney
Until they buy them.
In that kind of way. They just don't have the cash and the product to demand that theaters do these kinds of practices, and give them the upper hand versus Disney. So yeah, no, it's very interesting.
Hi, Cat.
The podcat is staring us down. He's it's the Dark Knight staring at us from across the. Ooh, Carl, would you wear a cowl?
Meow.
I think that's a no. But yeah, so it will be the next year of movie going. It'll be interesting to see if Regal pins a deal with anyone or
watch Regal get Disney.
Oh.
That would be insane.
Disney will not sign this deal with anyone.
Nope. Sony Pictures will though.
Well,
doesn't-
Universal, I guess they have Peacock, but Disney has Disney Plus, HBO has HBO Max.
Disney doesn't.
If they really get desperate to put it online, they can throw it on their own service.
Right.
Yeah. Lionsgate maybe. I'm trying to think of like one of those mid-sized ones.
Yeah, there could be some mid-sized one that signed deals with certain distributors, but I don't think any of the big one. I was kind of surprised Universal, but Universal, admittedly, over the past 5 years has gotten pretty small. I think it brings in 10 to 15% of the annual box office.
It depends if they have a fast movie.
Right.
Man, that has never been more true.
Did Jurassic Park come out this year?
Ooh. The Jurassic Show comes out on Netflix in September.
Ooh, that's exciting.
September 16th.
Camp
Cretaceous.
Camp Cruciatus Curse. Ooh, I'd watch that. Or you like learn how to be a Death Eater. TVMA Harry Potter animated
Oh
show.
my. It's intense. That's my last news story.
Do we have any Fanbox questions?
Let me pull up Twitter. I don't think we did.
Somebody responded to the tweeter.
Yes, at Zuck Tyler said that this should be a good listen as long as Luke loved Umbrella Academy,
And
which he did.
I love Umbrella Academy.
So
I hope everybody likes it as much as I do. When
So-
you go and watch it, because it's good.
I have a question,
yes,
but only if we can answer it in 5 minutes.
sure.
It's going to be really hard. I'm going to poach this one from the Kind of Funny Xcast. If you could take one IP and pair it with one gaming studio to make a game, what would it be? That's such a hard question to answer, but it's awesome. Like the example I saw was Transformers and I think it was like Rare or Playground Games or something.
Anything
'Cause-
and
it was
Respawn.
It was Playground.
Oh,
Because they
yeah.
do Forza and they do is it Fable?
Fable now. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're working on Fable now.
So it'd be like Transformers driving like in Forza with open world
That'd be dope.
dynamics. It'd be kind of weird.
Give me. Oh my gosh! Give me a Star Wars IP with Rockstar based on Red Dead 2, or maybe not Rockstar, just anybody that's made a good
Could do
super RPG. I mainly think Red Dead because I would want a bounty hunter game.
a Mandalorian style esque game.
Let me personalize my bounty hunter in the Star
Yeah.
Wars universe and let me just go run
Dude,
amok.
we've talked about that one before.
Oh my
That'd be
gosh.
awesome.
That would be awesome. This is gonna be
I
a
freaking love this question because
unpopular opinion, I think.
You can do any property.
I know.
Okay.
Any property. So there's one that comes to mind, and it's Batman. And I think the Arkham games were done well. This is not.
Have you played them?
I've played that. I have never really gotten into them, but I have played the first two. I think I played bits and pieces of them.
Okay.
And I just mentioned Respawn. I think a Respawn Batman game could be really interesting.
Oh, we'll agree to disagree.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
don't think that'd be a good match.
Ooh,
No,
I thought of another one real quick.
Don't take mine or I'll kill you.
Metroid with Nintendo. Why don't they make freaking Metroid Prime 4, man?
Mine immediately was Ninja Turtles and Rocksteady. Let's travel New York with the Ninja Turtles in a Batman-esque combat Ninja Turtle game. That'd be fun.
Would you play as all four, or would you pick the one you play as, or...
I think you'd have to play as all four in like interchangeable missions,
Okay.
different chapters of the story, use different turtles.
I can dig it.
You can do the gadgets with Donatello and make that kind of it could be a Donatello-esque game. I mean, the new comic book that's coming out called The Last Ronin is about Donatello after the three other brothers die.
Oh, that's depressing.
They haven't confirmed that it's Donatello, but it's definitely Donatello because he never gets the spotlight. So,
Ouch.
What's another one? Quick. I'd love a Harry Potter game.
I think you're gonna get that though. I think Avalanche Games is doing that one.
Yeah.
Which, if that's true, does that mean that the guy we talked to in Oklahoma who was working with Avalanche Games and couldn't tell us what he was working on, does that mean he was working on Harry Potter the whole time?
It's possible.
I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I just blew that.
Estrada, he said he was working on a game with Avalanche and he couldn't talk about it.
Okay, how about this? How about this one? Give BioWare and
Gosh, you really hate Anthem.
think of BioWare's history.
Think of Mass Effect 1 and 2.
There we go. That's what I needed to hear.
Like an open world Aragon game.
I've never read Aragon.
You've probably only seen the crappy movie.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, thank God.
So I'd
Don't watch
I'd
it.
be interested to see that. I really would. I can do one more.
Yeah.
Let's pair up. Let's get dangerous here. Halo
Oh.
and Massive Entertainment, the people who do The Division.
Oh. Like Halo's more of a tactical
Yeah,
MMO
like a tactical
shooter. Interesting.
That'd be fun.
Could be a cool.
I think you could do the ODST stuff.
Yeah, that would be a cool
You're
little
just an ODST
spin-off
in the Halo world.
thing. That would be dope.
Would be fun.
I would be down for that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Do not know how it would be possible, and I don't really know game studios, so I don't know who could do it, but maybe you can help.
Okay.
But I clearly love Voltron.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is it's 5 lions and 1 massive robot that come together. I do not for the life of me know how you can make that work somehow.
What do they fight?
Alien army? The Galra? Think the Empire from Star Wars.
Here you go. Respawn.
But would you just play as one of the lions?
I don't know how you could do that cooperatively. You maybe could choose.
It'd be
Which
a
one, or
single player game.
Yeah.
And your squad would be the others, and it'd be like a Titan when you come together.
Okay.
That's the only reason I thought of that is because of the Titan and how they've kind of mastered that whole thing.
I just didn't know like if there was a way to integrate multiple people playing as lions and then somehow
Make it all work. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be hard.
That would be hard. I don't know if
somebody
surely
figured it out.
someone's tried that before, right?
Somebody
When
figured it out.
my first thought, and the reason I asked what you fight, and because it's armies, I don't know the studio. Who makes Dynasty Warriors?
I don't what? What's that?
Dynasty. I'm not sure.
It's a game where you literally run around as you choose one of them, and then you just wreck a bunch of people.
Okay, so I guess for context, you play as a paladin where you have a Bayard, and you can you're a Power Ranger, pretty much.
Okay.
That's what Power Ranger's based on. You can get in a lion, and you're pretty much in a spaceship that has a bunch of weapons, and you combine those lions to make Voltron. So there's like 3 different ways you could fight right there. Enemies could be people, enemy ships, and then there's also row beasts and other evil giant robots that have come together, depending how far you are in the show.
Who made Star Fox?
Nintendo?
No, it's
The Nintendo company!
Dynasty Warriors is who I thought of.
Oh, sorry. Dynasty Warriors.
Density Warriors. Science-based
Force?
games.
Depends on. Looks like they've had a number of.
Omega Force is one of them.
Yeah. Tecmo.
Created by Omega Force and Koei.
Koei Tecmo and Omega Force, I think, are the
2 big ones.
the 2 big ones there.
So I would think that would probably work well for Voltron. I would hate it, but it would probably work.
If somebody could figure that out, they'd be my hero.
Yeah. But no, I thought that was a cool question, and I thought it allowed us to brainstorm some fun ideas.
That is. I have one more, and it's interesting because I don't know if I would want it to be a platformer necessarily, a 2D platformer, but I think it would. I love the art style of Moon Studios. They do Ori, the Ori games. I think they could do a really cute little Redwall game.
Oh, heck yeah.
That would be kind of like a fun, but I don't love the. I don't know if I would want it in the same style as Ori necessarily as the platforming, which would probably take it out of their wheelhouse. But
What was that leaked trailer that dropped?
Moss?
No.
Mouse Guard?
Oh,
Yeah, Mouse Guard.
Maybe something close to that, except
Was that a game?
Redwall characters and Redwall
There was a movie,
locations.
There was a movie and a game that were being kind of developed.
Here's what I would do with Redwall, if since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I would give it to Square Enix and let them make a Redwall Octopath Traveler type game.
Oh,
In like 16-bit.
that'd be
With
fun.
a really good soundtrack.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a really good cast of characters with their own stories. And
Mm-hmm.
you put a team of 4 together and you go on the adventures together.
Mm.
I think that'd be cool.
I'm down. Do it.
Sweet.
But I just really like the Octopath combat style.
Real quick over in the
I've
chat,
honestly thought about this a lot.
Nick had a suggestion. He said, Umbrella Academy game made by Blizzard.
Ooh, so like Diablo?
That would be fun.
That'd be
there's
pretty cool.
there's so many fun powers in the Umbrella Academy.
That would be interesting.
Powers that honestly, even in like season 1, you're like, oh, that power sucks, and then they turn out to be your favorite character.
Klaus?
Yeah.
They'd have to take some liberties with his character a little bit, I think. At least where I'm at.
The opening scene of season 2. Oh yeah, baby. Everybody will see that and just be like, I can't wait to see that.
Oh,
Awesome.
here's one more. Why not? Because we've only gone an hour and a half. No, never mind. I'm retracting it.
What was the IP?
Alien.
Playing as the alien or playing as the
no,
crew?
as the crew.
Who makes Hello Neighbor?
That's
Dude, I've thought about this a lot. Like,
Hold on, Alien. You play as the alien, but it's in the style of Untitled Goose Game.
oh yeah.
Where you move around the ship and mess with these people, but you can also stab them.
tiny build.
Yes, let them do it. That way the AI remembers what you're doing.
My initial thought was like From Software,
Ooh.
just for the dark hardness,
Yeah.
But it's not really. That's not a.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't feel like a horror
Fit,
game
yeah.
necessarily.
I think Hello Neighbor would be good. Who makes We Happy Few?
Oh,
Is that Rocket Punch Gaming? Compulsion. Rockets.
Makes sense. But yeah, no.
I spent way too much time thinking.
I feel like we need to give Remedy an IP.
Dude, give Remedy whatever you want. What can I think of?
What's something weird? Tenet, the movie, the game. No.
Dude, they would nail that. Hold on. Time out. Don't go anywhere.
An Inception game.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
That would. I wouldn't even know what you would do. Design a maze.
Let's see. What else? What else could Remedy do? Maybe a.
Just use your iPad.
His iPad doesn't have a keyboard.
My Wi-Fi wasn't working, so now I'm getting just tons and tons of things.
All them notifications.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Remedy
can't
could
think
do
of it.
almost anything. I think you're right, Tyler. Like, I haven't even played Control yet.
You played Alan Wake?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of a weird IP that I feel like they could embrace.
Doom Patrol.
Oh boy.
I'm still chugging through season 1, man. I'm trying.
I
It's
honestly
weird.
don't. It is super weird.
Very weird.
You gone to the snow globe yet?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep. Snow globe. Super weird.
I love that show.
Tyler, have you given up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remedy can make podcast the game. There's an
No.
IP. What the
Remedy-
fanboy the game? There's
Remedy
your
could make
IP.
Annihilation.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. You go into the
The
Shimmer.
and you have to figure out what's going on.
There's some puzzles, and then then you have some nice little combat sequences, and
Good job.
Thank you.
That'd be dope. I
I
love
feel
it.
like I'm rocking this question.
I feel like this could be a whole episode. I feel like this could be a whole podcast.
Why didn't we save this? Dang it. No, it was a good question.
We can always bring it back, like the
Yeah.
random news stories.
That's
and
true.
try new
That's
things.
true. Yeah, anything else before we go?
No, I'm good.
Tyler, you brought us in. Take us out.
Oh God, no.
Thanks
Okay.
for watching and listening this week. You can find all of our content at whatthefanboy.com. Follow us at whatthefanboy on Twitter and Instagram. Maybe someday Facebook, Luke. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
One day.
Hopefully Facebook shuts down like a week after we do that. I hate Facebook.
Oh, that would be so funny.
We get on TikTok and it gets banned.
Darn.
But thank you, everyone, for just being a part of this show every week. We appreciate it. You can always write to us at whatthefanboy@gmail.com or just hit us up on the socials.
Or Brett's address. Just kidding.
P.O. Box
I won't.
something. Do I need to get us a P.O. Box?
No.
PO Box 001.
Until next week, we'll see you guys. Bye-bye.